The steering wheel of the car is in your wise self's hands, not the fear's. Because fear will always push the brakes and want you to turn back and hide in the closed garage. You are unique in this world. So is your career. Your work is your uniqueness in service to yourself and others. This podcast is for the people who want to do meaningful work and journey towards their unique careers and unique lives. Hi, my name is Işıl Uysal Karvelli, and I am your host in Unique Careers, Unique Lives podcast. Recently, I got to speak at a conference about what I'm really passionate about and what I wrote a book about. The gift of being unfulfilled at work. After my speech, I hosted a Q&A session and I received a wonderful question, which I want to use our time together to explore today. Question was, this journey of finding the work you love looks like a huge leap. How do you deal with the fear of change? How do you deal? I would say you get familiar with it first. You get friendly with it. When you step on this journey of finding and doing work you love, make an official introduction of yourself to your friend fear and receive the introduction of fear to you. Your fear will be your new friend because it will be with you all through your journey. And to really pinpoint it, let's give this fear a name. Let's call it Fifi, the short for friend fear. This friend is a bit like your too much caring mother, that whatever you do, whenever you are going through something unknown, it panics and goes, "Are you safe? Are you okay? Is it good? Are you sure?" Fifi wants to protect you. It will be there anytime you do something new, something different than your previous experience. And if you consider doing work you love, that's something very different than what you have done before. It is a huge place of unknown and uncertainty. And of course, the fear will speak up faster and louder. "No, are you sure? Are you going to do it? How are you? Will you be safe? Isn't it dangerous?" Isn't Fifi cute? It cares about you in its own way. There is no need to get rid of your fear, Fifi, because first, it has been there for years. Second, it has a purpose. It wants to protect you. Third, if you were to try to get rid of it, you would not succeed. On the opposite, you would make it even louder. All you need to do is to acknowledge it, to be with it, to love it, and do what you need to do regardless of it. Of course, don't throw yourself out of a building, because that's what the fear tells you is really important. Your fear wants you to stay alive. That's the reason why we don't reject fear. We listen to it. But we might not be threatened with our life in the journey of finding the work we love, even though the fear might act as if our life is in danger. When we look into this as if, we said as if our lives is in danger, and ask what is really in stake here, we can find a lot of what ifs. What if I fail? What if I cannot find anything better than this? What if I stay penniless on the street? Okay, fear, one for you. Now fear had a say. What does your wisdom say about it? What will happen if you don't do anything. Or let's talk about the other side. What is the best thing that can happen when you take action? What if everything goes the way you want? How does that look like? Based on your intention and having heard the voice of the fear, you make a decision with your inner wisdom. The steering wheel of the car is in your wise self's hands, not the fear's. Because fear will always push the brakes and want you to turn back and hide in the closed garage. I know I use a lot of car metaphors here because I love the way Elizabeth Gilbert writes about fear in her book, Big Magic. She says, "Fear, you are very welcome to ride along, but you sit in the back. You can talk, but you cannot touch the radio, fiddle with the air condition, or suggest directions. And you are forbidden to drive." She doesn't exactly write like this, but that's the way I remember. In my own words. Yes, my friends, I invite you to take your fear, the Fifi, on board with you, but don't let it drive. Sometimes when you fully know in your heart what the best action is, and you have seen that fear does not have much valuable to add, you might still find yourself afraid like hell. You can feel the fear physically. In these moments, the best advice I can give to you is to borrow some courage. Yes, borrow. Reach out to someone who you know believes in you 100% and will remind you who you are. Share your feelings with them and then let them speak about you to you. I have been in the exact same situation. I was about to leave my job to start my coaching journey, and I was in such a good place because I was paid a severance pay, so I didn't need to worry about my life expenses for a year. But I still couldn't make the decision. I was lucky that I had a mastermind group with people who are also going through their self-employment journey. So I could share how I felt about my fears, and they shared with me what they believed about me. They reminded me everything that I told them before about how I wanted this, what I believed in. They lent me the courage, and with this courage I could make the leap. That is how I know the power of community. If you want to create your own community to borrow courage, you don't have to stretch yourself too far if you don't want to. Your community can be as little as one person who believes in you. It can be your partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, friend, anyone who believes in you 100% can be your community. But sometimes it might be difficult for people who are closest to you to hold the space of courage, because you going through this journey means that they have to go through change as well. They will have to experience the unknown of being with you, being with the future you, which is unknown to them. Your changing will mean that your relationship will change too. It's very understandable that it's difficult for the closest ones to hold space for us. Therefore, you might want to find another person or group of people who are on the same journey with you. Maybe you find these people in your friend circle or in your work environment, but you can also find people online by looking for communities in career change, for example on meetup.com. When you have this group, you can organize regular meetings such as masterminds to come together and share your fears and desires. A little disclaimer about masterminds. You probably by Googling it will find a lot of information about what mastermind is, but it's basically a group of people coming together who have absolute belief in each other and who are invested in each other's goals. One for all for one, and they regularly keep the meetings in a fixed time and holding a secure space. That creates the power of mastermind. And in this mastermind group, you share how you feel with your trustees, and when you want, you ask for opinions and suggestions. Putting this mastermind to the corner, another alternative of community for you is to hire a coach. Full disclaimer, you know I am a coach, but I'm not saying it because this is what I do for work. I'm saying it because I have always had coaches, and my work with them has been transformative. A coach is your partner who has 100% trust in you, in your potential, even if you might not trust yourself as much, but who will also not let you go away with the excuses, who will hold the space of power, wholeness, and courage, and who will remind you who you are and what you said, what you declared you will do, and who will also hold you up to your own standards. And actually, through this accountability with your coach, you will be taking action despite your fear. To sum up, how to deal with the fear in this journey of big leap of faith. First, don't try to get rid of your fear. Accept your fear, Fifi, as your friend. Get to know your friend, hear it out, but don't let it drive the car. Get clearer on what it is that you want and act in spite of your fear. And soon, you will recognize the fierce voice will get quieter and quieter. Partner with others to borrow their belief in you, to strengthen your courage, and start moving step by step to the work and therefore the life you love. That's it, dears, today about the fear of change. Take very good care of yourself. In the coming days, recognize the moments when fear shows itself and see how you can shift the way you react to fear so you can invite it to sit by you and hear what it says to you without acting on what it says. I am curious how this will impact how you feel in your life. Reach out to me if you want to share with me how it's developing. And I am going to talk to you next week in the next episode. Lots of love from a very rainy Munich. Take care.